Good morning! I'm going to show you how I dry and style my hair for the day, the products I use and the brushes that I use and the technique that I use. Normally it stays up all day once I've got it in place. I don't have to redo it. If I'm in any sort of crazy weather, very windy, or if it gets wet, or if I pull a lot of clothes on over my head and off, sometimes it can flop a little bit, and then I just shape it with my fingers and add a little bit of hairspray. But usually it pretty much stays up the whole day. I do have to do it every morning because when I wake up in the morning it hasn't survived the night, and it looks like that. It's my hairdryer that I use. It's not a very fancy hairdryer, but it's got a couple of things that are absolutely essential in a hairdryer, and that is different heat settings, different blast settings, and a cool blast button. It's very important to, when you've shaped your hair, when you've heated it up to put it into a shape like around a brush, to cool it down afterwards so that it stays in place. So you'll see that I heat it up, I cool it off with a cool blast button, but then even at the front where I really want the shape to hold when I'm creating the shape with my brushes, is I even leave it a few seconds after I've blasted it with a cold button to make sure that it's completely cool so that it sets in place. When you've heated hair up, you need to cool it off to make sure it stays in the shape that you want. I don't know if you can see, but my hair is very soft and fine and floppy and limp. It has no natural body of its own, no curl. So, and there's not loads of it. I'll show you the back. It really is very soft, and it really just wants to hang down. It doesn't want to go up the way I want it to go. So the first thing I do, my first product that I use, is a mousse. I'm using this one at the moment. It's a 5 Extra Firm Control. I've got other mousses that I use sometimes. As long as you choose one with, for me, I have to choose one with a very firm control because I need it to create volume and to stay up. I don't have lots of hair. If you have loads of hair and it's got its own body, you might not need to use such a firm mousse, but I need a firm one. I used quite a bit of it, handful, and put it all through the top of my hair. So my hair was still damp, so now it's quite wet again from the mousse. I'm going to start off, now that I've got the mousse in my hair, with my brush, my first brush, which is a vent brush. It's a normal vent brush. I've had this one for years and years and years, probably looking a little bit worse for wear, but I use it to pick the hair up, the top of my head, the hair on the top of my head up, so that it can start to go up and not just want to flop down. So this is the first step, and on medium heat. I'm just picking the hair up away from my head so that it dries in an upwards direction, and I'm going to do that all over my hair so that all of it's got a little bit of body. Just ran the dryer through it at the end to make sure that it was completely dry and all the mousse was dried, and then because the hair would be warm, I put it on a cold blast just to cool it off. So now it's dry, the mousse is dry, my hair is dry, and it's got a little bit of volume. It's sticking up a little bit now, more than it was, but we're not there yet. So the next step that I use, next thing that I do, is to take a small bristle brush. Again, I don't know, I bought this from the chemist shop. It's just a small round bristle brush, and I'm going to because my hair here is a little bit long at the back because it's undercut, I'm going to just put the brush in each of the sides here just to lift it up so that it keeps the lift during the day and doesn't flop down. So I'm going to do that now. Just going to wind it around the brush here and give it a heat it up and cool it down again. Take the brush out carefully because I want to keep that lift. I want to keep that lift on that piece of hair. And go to the other side here. Same thing, heat it up and cool it off. Let it cool. Okay. So now the front. The same thing to get my little curl at the front. I use this same little narrow brush. I curl this side and that side in. So starting off with this one, just gather all the hair up as much as I can, the front piece. Heat it up and cool it off. Leave it for a moment to make sure it's completely cool, because this is the bit that I want to keep the shape and that has to stay up all day. So we wait. Take the brush out carefully so that it keeps its lift and curl. This side, same thing, I'm just winding the front fringe piece around my little brush quite tightly, and then I'm going to heat it up and cool it off again. Just wait for that one to cool. Warm. I'm going to leave it for a moment. Okay, so that's it for the drying, pretty much. Now to put the paste in. So I'm using this L'Oreal Poker Paste. It's got a lot of lovely firm hold, but at the same time it doesn't leave your hair very stiff. It's a 7 force. For those of you that know the stiff paste, I think it's almost identical to the stiff paste, which has been discontinued very sadly. So I'm using this one now. You don't need very much, just a little sort of a fingernail size piece of the paste. Work it through my fingers and then shape my hair into the shape that I want it to be. I'm just pushing the sides back, working the gel through the top piece, which is the piece that I need to stand up to get my little ice cream cone at the top that I like. I do a bit of that. And then when I've got it in the shape that I like it to be, I just spray it in place. Again, just a nice strong spray. This is just a local brand that I get from the pharmacy. It's the strongest one. They've got different colors, but this is the strongest one. So any very strong, nice strong spray should do. Find one that you like. So now that I've got the shape, I just use my fingers and spray it in shape. Just shape it a little bit more and spray it to keep it where I want it to be. I'll start here lift that up because I like that to be tall at the front. That's it. So quite a bit of spray, but it's done. It shouldn't move. It should be holed up for the whole day, normally does. If it doesn't, then I sometimes just reshape it with my fingers and put a little bit more hairspray in it, and that does the trick, but pretty much that's it. I'll show you the back, which of course I haven't seen today, but there it is. Should stay up all day. What I need now is some bright lipstick. Ready for the day. I hope you enjoyed it.